Hello Sagittarius, and thanks so much for tuning in for the special edition Halloween All Hallows Eve Samhain reading for Sagittarius rising, sun, moon, or anybody with Sagittarius prominent in their chart. Usually I use the Rock and Roll Tarot deck as the main portion of the reading, so we're going to switch it up a little bit, and we're going to use that for the bonus, okay? And then we're also still going to do the Animal Totem card, but instead of the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, we're going to use three different kind of spooky decks here. So we've got Tarot del Fuego. We're going to pull 3 cards from that. Then we're going to pull 3 cards from the Deviant Moon Tarot. And then finally, the Dark Mansion Tarot, one of my all-time faves. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this, shuffle it up for our Sagittarius friends. So my little screen just went blank there. Let me turn that back on. Okay, so Sagittarius for the month of October of 2021. Let's see what we've got here. 1, 2, and 3. Next, we're going to pull the Deviant Moon cards for Sagittarius for October. 1, 2, 3. And then finally, the Dark Mansion. Oh, this flew out. 8 of Swords. So we'll put it over there. And then I guess I'll put it there and I'll just pick 2 more. How about that? 2, 3. Okay, let's go ahead and flip them over and see what we get. So first card out, we have the 6 of Wands, which is Triumph and Victory. Justice. Some of you may be winning some kind of a legal case. 7 of Pentacles. Next row, we have the Empress. Beautiful energy. Maybe somebody's pregnant. 3 of Pentacles. And finally, the 9 of Rods. So that's a little bit of struggle, possibly. 8 of Swords, and then next we have 9 of Pentacles. This card has been out a lot from this deck, too. And then the Emperor. Okay. So we have the 6 of Wands as the first card out. Now that is major victory and triumph, and that is a card of being chosen or being picked or being, like chosen or picked or being triumphant, winning. It's definitely a card of winning. And then next card out, we have Justice. So again, maybe some of you, if you're involved in some kind of legal case, it could absolutely, something could happen this month. Let me pull this up so you can really see it. Something could happen in your case where either you win the case or you make big strides towards, the next level of whatever you're trying to do here. Justice also, though, could just be maybe you're signing a contract. Maybe you bid on a job and you get that contract or something like that. Sometimes justice can just be, justice will be done. Just meaning justice will be done. It can be karmatic justice, So you win one. I'm hearing win one for the Gipper. That's like an old-timey saying, So that's definitely the guides coming through. So you guys are going to win one for the Gipper. No, you might just get a victory, and it's just like, finally, I get what's coming to me. I get my just rewards, 7 of Pentacles, it does seem as though you're going to be getting definitely some cash flow out of this. This came up in another card reading, and I hear it again and saying it's raining pennies from heaven. So I feel like when I hear that raining pennies from heaven, though, I feel like it's finding those pennies. If you find those pennies and it's a loved one who's on the other side, who's like showing you those, giving you those little clues and those little pennies along the road. It's like just letting you know, like, I'm here, But also it can be, it's just raining money, money, raining cats and dogs. It's just, if you look at the card, it's just money is just flying out of the sky. So, it could really be increasing your cash flow in a big way. In a big way that you're really in the zone of being in the Empress energy. The Empress energy is an energy of total abundance, totally peaceful, totally having everything that you want, and being healthy, wealthy, and wise. She's in a state of total harvest. And, in the Northern Hemisphere, we are in the harvest time during October, and we will be having this harvest. I'm not sure if the harvest moon probably is, but at any rate, this is the time of harvest in the Northern Hemisphere. The Empress is also a card of abundance, and it's also a card of pregnancy. And also, doesn't this look like a little kid? So some of you, there may be a little child showing up in your life if that's something that you're, wanting to do, or somebody around you is maybe, it could be niece, nephew, grandchild, whatever. You got the 3 of Pentacles card. So this is, the Empress is 3, and this is also a 3. So this is working toward what you're trying to do. Working towards a goal of really getting what you want and learning along the way and building yourself up for the future. You're building a solid foundation that's going to last in the future. Oh, this is the Six of Rods again. I thought it was the Nine. So you have the Six of Rods twice. That's really cool. So that's definitely you getting some kind of acknowledgement, some kind of a raise, a bonus, you getting the job, you winning that case, you becoming pregnant if that's what you're shooting for. You know, it's absolutely some kind of triumphant victory for you. What was I also going to say about it? Oh, I had another thought to say about it. Oh, it might be two things. You know, you could have two victories. Who says you can't have two? It could be two different things going on. It could be one happening then and then one happening just a little bit later, you know. Or, you know, if you are in school or you are in some kind of a training, you know, maybe this is like you getting into the school, and then this is you getting the, you know, getting the best grade on the midterm exams or something like that, or, you know, something like that. Okay, so the Eight of Swords did flip out of the deck, so I left it there. And the Eight of Swords is a card of being stressed out and worried, but it's more about, it talks about you being worried in your own head. It's not about anything that's actually in reality. It's about you just being stressed out and worried in your own head and, you know, thinking kind of crazy thoughts. You know, your thoughts, you got to get a hold of your thoughts. Come out of Eight of Swords energy and come into the Empress energy, because the Empress is not worried. She's abundant and taken care of, and she knows it. Empress, too, besides being a card of, you know, pregnancy and abundance, it's also a card of good health, especially good health regarding anything women's health issues related. So anything having to do with, you know, gynecological or breast cancers or different things like that, that's also a very good sign if you know anybody who's going through that. Nine of Pentacles is here, so it's more likely along the lines of the money here. You're getting the acknowledgement, and then you're getting the money. You're training, and then you end up, here you're the apprentice, and here you are like the master of coins. Here you are the master of all you prevail. You know, your money is really flowing. You're in a position of power. When you have Empress and Nine of Pentacles together, that's always a sign of like you're really in that, your prosperity is really flowing and you're doing very well with money and finance. And you can be, both of these women have something in common, is that they are in a very relaxed state. They both know they're abundant. They're both calm, cool, collected, and they know that they're abundant. Okay, the Emperor. The Emperor is someone in a position of power and authority. It doesn't have to be a man necessarily. This could be you as the Emperor. You are the master of all your domains. So this could be you as the Emperor. But it could also be an outside individual who helps you with this, whatever it might be, whatever's going on here. If you're an independent contractor, this could be a big person that gives you a big contract. With this Justice here, you might get some kind of a huge contract. This could be the boss who gives you a raise or assigns you more responsibility or makes you the manager or something along those lines. It could be you being the Emperor, and I keep wanting to say all you surveil, so I don't know what that's about, where that's coming from. But it's no matter what, it's absolutely positive. The Emperor is acknowledging your work here with these Six of Rods here. They're acknowledging the good work that you've done, and you're being repaid in kind. It's not just like a pat on the back. There's money that goes along with this too, you know. It's not just like, oh, good job, you know. It's just like, here's some money. There was something connected to that Justice that I was wanting to tie into the Emperor. Oh yeah, the Emperor could be maybe the person who makes the decision, you know, the judge in the courtroom or whatever too, because the red robe there, that was what's getting me. Yeah, that could be like the Emperor is like, the judgment is in your favor. Just, you know, decides the case in your favor. Absolutely. Okay, let me go ahead and shuffle up your animal totem. I do want to make a very quick announcement about the year ahead readings. I'm bumping it back. I'm starting a little bit early. Normally I start them in mid-October, but I'm going to start them at the beginning of October because I want to try to space it out if possible, so I'm not completely overwhelmed in December. So they will run now to the end of the year. It's a look ahead at the year 2022, personal reading. There's the 4 quarters of the year, and then we also look into the astrology and the eclipses, so it's kind of the whole package deal. It's astrology and tarot together. I've never raised the price on it, so it's a very reasonable price for the amount of information that you get. Always my most popular reading. I know many of you order it every year, so if you're interested, or if you've never ordered it and want to check it out, please do visit my website and you can find out all about that. All right, let's see. Here you go. Raccoon. Raccoon is about the mask to me. That's the most thing that I get about the mask. I mean, maybe it's mask because we're in this, you know, people have to wear masks. But it's more about like not showing, not showing who you really are, or be careful what you say. Especially if you are in some kind of contract negotiation or court case, you might want to just keep it on the, DL here. Masked marauder in the night. Resourceful, curious, tactile, resilient. Ceremony, ritual, the shaman's journey. Paying meticulous attention to hygiene and diet. And I always put the card here, but it's interesting that I put it right next to the Empress. So that last part about paying meticulous attention to hygiene and diet, yeah, because of course if you're pregnant you want to make sure, but again, Empress just being a health card in general, you know, this could be for some of you, you know, dieting. And the Empress, it's not shown here, but the Empress is not a skinny stick. You know, the Empress is a very, you know, full-figured gal. You know, here's the Knight of Pentacles. I was just showing that in another reading, but let me just find that Empress. She's always very full figure. So it's not like, oh, I have to starve myself and be as skinny as a stick. No, but you want to be healthy. You know, the Empress, especially if you're trying to get pregnant or you think you might be pregnant, obviously you want to, or if you're battling, you know, against some kind, you're going through something with disease or whatever, you want to make sure that you eat healthy foods and eat enough and be healthy and plentiful. Yeah, but this ceremony, ritual, the shaman's journey, that was another thing too, the shaman's journey. It's like you're journeying from here all the way up to the Empress or Emperor energy, Empress and Emperor, this energy here with this Nine of Pentacles. So you're really arriving, you know, at the shaman's journey, you're arriving at the end of the road of this journey, and there's rewards there for you. So it's very positive. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and we will be doing the 3 cards for our Patreon peeps next. But before I go, I just want to really, I'm so excited. My book 2 is out. I always get so excited when I have it, hold it in my hands and actually get to hold a book in my hand. And some of my art, a little bit of my art, the Land of Cha-la-la in the back. And this is a photo of a flower from my garden. So it's me asking questions and getting answers along the lines of, you know, questions of God. What's that book? Oh, I can't even think of it. When he asks questions of God. But it's not, I'm not necessarily saying it's God. It's definitely the higher dimensional guides that answer the questions. And conversations with God. It's on the line of that, but it's different. As I'm not saying it's necessarily God. I'm talking to my guides, and they are higher dimensional. And sometimes there's different guides that come through. It's not always the same guide. But I'm asking questions that I'm interested in learning the answers to. And a lot of it's like freaky stuff that's happened to me on my spiritual journey, and they like say, well, this is what that was all about. And I think through even if it's about me specifically, I think through their answers, you know, everybody can get some enlightenment, hopefully, from. But I try to avoid like the same questions that everybody asks, like what happens after you die, or, you know, I try to ask some different kind of off the beaten path spiritual questions, and I got a lot of good answers. Much of this was written during 2020, so figure that out, that there's going to be some questions about what was going on during 2020 in this book too. And so it's a continuation. I've already started book 3. Here's book 1, book 2, and book 3 is already being written, you know, every day as we come along. So it's a little thicker. It's a little bit bigger of a book than book 1. Many of you are ordering it already, and I know many of you have read the book 1. But if you got a second, please do leave some kind of comment or star on Amazon so that they, you know, because it's very reasonably priced. It's free in the Kindle Lending Library if you have that. So, but the ultimate goal is to get it out to as many people as possible. So thank you all for doing that. Just like YouTube has an algorithm, as Amazon has an algorithm. So on both platforms, you know, these likes, comments, shares are so appreciated, and I really do appreciate those of you who do it all the time for me and support me through buying my different wares. I have decks and books and readings and all sorts of things available, and you get something nice for yourself as well, but also you get, you know, you can help me out in the process. So I do appreciate it. If you want to hit that subscribe button, because people say they can't find me, if you hit the subscribe, then you'll have me in your list there. So there's that too. But anyways, have a great, looks like it's big time, especially those of you that are looking for some kind of legal thing that pop for you. It looks like this could absolutely be the month that it all pops and things start really falling into place for you, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for joining. Remember that you are your love and beauty and kind, have the best month ever, and we will see you again next time. Till then.